Yes.
Are there any motions?
So HLO does have something that kind of came up last
Hey,
minute.
Travis, hold on. We're going to do motions first.
Oh, motions. Oh, we haven't done those. Okay.
Yeah, we're not to other board business.
On the executive session. Okay.
Great, thanks. This is Lynette Pettibone, and I'd like to move to open an investigation in case number 22-10536.
This is Christine Morales. I second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. I'll call for a vote. Kelsey Fisher, aye. Meredith Klein.
Aye.
Beth Iva.
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Christine Morales.
Aye.
Lynette Pettibone.
Aye.
Meredith Mance.
Aye.
Motion has been passed.
Board chair and board members, this is Bob. I would like to amend the notice in other board business and add a review of case number, some late information we received on case numbers 178732 and 12-7039 related to Jacqueline Rowan.
Does anyone move to amend the agenda, right? Because we need to add that before other board business.
This is Lynette, and I move to amend the agenda.
This is Beth. I second.
Motion has been made and seconded. I'll call for a vote. Kelsey Fisher, aye. Meredith Klein.
Aye.
Beth Iva.
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Lynette Pettibone.
Aye.
Christine Morales.
Aye.
Meredith Mance.
Aye.
Amending the agenda is approved. You can move on to that next.
Travis, go ahead, please.
All right. So we late last week we received a request to approve a supervisor in this case with regards to the settlement agreement. I think a couple of meetings back we had some supervisor approvals in the same case. So this was the request that was made. I have the information here, and you can view a letter that I have. It's a short letter, and then view the some information about the person that they're requesting to be a supervisor for Jacqueline Rowan. So I will share up the letter first, and you can read that, and then I will share the information about the experience of that midwife, and I will do that now. Can everybody see that?
May want to zoom it in, Trampus. I can barely see it.
I think I can get away with that big and still keep it all on the screen. When everybody makes it through that, I will bring up the other piece of information.
Has everybody read this letter?
Yes.
Go ahead, Trampus.
So if I can get this to come up in a way that people can read it. Everybody see that?
This is Meredith Klein. I'm just stating for the record if it's important to note that I have to hang up now.
Thanks, Meredith. It's 10:48.
Anyone still reading? Anyone have thoughts?
This is Lynette, and I have a question. Is it possible to approve her for clinic only and not births?
This is Heather. I think the board could provide that direction.
This is Wendy. I mean, my only concern is there seems to be a real hierarchical, difference in these two midwives, and I understand they're saying that they've had, a collegial relationship, but my understanding is, I mean, this is a brand new midwife who now has to, guide or serve as a guide for a much more experienced midwife, which is really, I mean, just such a power differential. And I know they're trying to address it, but it just doesn't feel. But I also, in that sense, I mean, I also do feel like clinic is a bit of a different thing, although we don't know her skills as a risk assessor. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming because she's so new that she does not have any, strikes. It's not even possible.
Yeah, this is Kelsey, and we have kind of categorically denied midwives as supervisors with this little experience being a licensed midwife. And I think that there's maybe some room for flexibility with this being a group practice and it only being for clinic when the nature of that case was more about risk assessment at the birth itself. I don't feel particularly strongly one way or the other. But I do agree with Wendy that that is definitely a power dynamic. Does anyone else have thoughts?
This is Lynette, and I am in a similar place, Kelsey, in that I don't have a particularly strong feeling either way about it. The thing I wanted to bring up is that I think that this practice was added to the list of approved supervisors because of concern that she wasn't going to be able to get the tasks as outlined in the letter of intent performed within the deadline if she didn't have more experience.
And I think that we had also didn't not approved some previously suggested midwife because of lack of experience, because I can't remember if it was for this case, but I don't know.
Is it possible to interview her? I mean, can somebody interview her and decide based on that? Or is that, I mean, do we have to base it just on the material that we have? Or can we say, look, we need to speak with this person and decide whether it's going to be appropriate?
Good question. And I don't know an answer to it.
So this is Heather. I believe the settlement agreement includes that she needs to provide additional information at the board's request. That's something that is most likely in the settlement agreement. I'll need to go back to it to verify that. The board has never done that before, but that doesn't mean that the board couldn't. It would be still a board decision as to whether the board is going to approve her, but the board could have one person interview her and then bring that information back to the board.
I mean, if no one else wants to, I would do it.
That seems fine to me.
Does anyone else want to? I don't know if there's going to be. I guess we can sort of. This is okay. I'm not even going to say what I was just going to say, but I mean, I don't know if anyone else feels that it would be more appropriate that they do it. I have no. I feel like this sort of question of a power dynamic does need to be explored a little bit before we just say yes. And I say that only so that this board continues to remain really credible, thoughtful, and are not viewed as, sort of just, sign on the dotted line kind of thing. I mean, I do think that this is a real question that needs to be considered before we start saying yes to everything we're asked. And I know we don't, but I think they're giving us reasons why they've addressed the whole power concern. And so, I'm not sure that it's fair to say no, because this could be an incredibly dynamic and powerful person that feels, that's able to take on that role. So I just feel like maybe that needs to be assessed. So before we say yes unequivocally or no unequivocally, maybe the answer is let's put in a little bit of effort and see what we think, so.
Thanks, Wendy. I think that all makes a lot of sense. I know that, like Christine was saying, that we have kind of categorically denied people based on lack of time as a licensed midwife, and this is a little different circumstance since the request is just for clinic, not for births. But yeah, I think, Wendy, if you're willing to talk to Taylor Racky then and report back, that seems fine, especially since there is a timeline.
Yeah, if Wendy, if you want to try to coordinate in order to have an LDM also at that meeting, I'm happy to participate.
Okay, that sounds great. Sure. Great.
HLO will have Scott or Trampus reach out to the both of you via email with contact information.
That would be perfect. Thank you.
Is that it for the supervisor requests?
So then are we moving on to other board business? Is there any other board business?
This is Lynna, and I have something I wanted to check in on. I was reminded when Silka gave testimony earlier that one of her previous questions had been about shifting the format of this meeting so that the public didn't have to participate in a call-in kind of way, but that they could see us in a more face-to-face kind of way. And I was curious if there was an update from the HLO on that.
Lynette, this is Sammy. Me and Silka have talked about this a couple times, and I asked her to provide me with some of the different programs or boards that she's dealt with that have this feature, and she just sent me a list. So I have forwarded that list on to the pertinent HLO staff, and then I will circle back with Silka once I have more information. So I am on it, and I will get back to you guys. And Kelsey is also in that email string as well.
Okay, great, thanks. It was also jogged my memory when I was on the RAC meeting that was one of the things.
It jogged my memory when I got the email too. Like, oh
Great.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Any other board business?
Not from HLO.
Well, if there's no other board business, then that is our last agenda item. Let me find my script and we can close this meeting. All right, the Board of Direct Entry Midwifery meeting is adjourned at 10:59 a.m.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great